Good morning, church. We're coming to that point in preparing for Christmas where you often think about all the gifts that are available, all the things that you might be on your heart to get for Christmas that you might want. Especially as a kid, this is the time of year where you've made your wish list and you've picked out some of your desirable presents, and so you're hoping for something good. And so you can build this sense of anticipation as you get to Christmas. What's it going to be like on the day? What am I going to open? What am I going to unpackage? What is going to be under the Christmas tree for me? Is it going to be the thing that I wanted or the thing that I hoped for? And there's that awkward moment, isn't there, when you get a gift that you don't want and you've got to pretend to be grateful, and so you go, oh yeah, thanks, this is what I've always wanted, a pair of socks, or whatever it might be. And especially when you've got your eyes set on the golden gift, whatever that might be. And it just got me thinking about these words in Luke 3. Many of you will know the story of the Nativity, you'll know the story of Jesus, but one thing you might miss, and that someone reminded me of recently, is the story of Simeon. Now, Simeon was somebody who had been promised that he would not die until he saw the Messiah, until he saw the coming of the Lord. And he is in the temple and he hears of Jesus and goes in to see this little baby, and then he prophesies over this baby, and he says this in verse 28 of Luke 2. Simeon took him in his arms and praised God, saying, Sovereign Lord, as you have promised, you may now dismiss your servant in peace, for my eyes have seen your salvation, which you have prepared in the sight of all nations, a light for revelation to the Gentiles, and the glory of your people Israel. The child's father and mother marveled at what was said about him. And Simeon blessed him and said to Mary his mother, the child is destined to cause the falling and rising of many in Israel, and to be a sign that will be spoken against, so that the thoughts of many hearts will be revealed. And so it just reminded me of this sense in which Simeon had been waiting an entire lifetime for the promises of God. And in a strange way as well, those coming verses mark the birth, but also the growth and life of Jesus up until his ministry, which takes about 30 years. And so you've got Simeon, who's waited a whole lifetime for the promises of God. You've got Jesus, who actually waits 30 years for the promises of God. And you see that pattern right throughout the Bible. Abraham often waits years and years. There's 10 years between a time that God speaks to him at one point, and the story of Joseph, again, another 20 to 30 years in the making of his ministry. And you think about all the things that God has promised, and often we want it instantly, and we're thinking, is it going to be given to me now? Is it going to be given to me on this day? But actually it takes years, it takes a lifetime sometimes to fulfill one or two promises of God, those specific big markers for your life and my life. When we're thinking about the gift that we're getting for Christmas, often we set our eyes on that. Are we getting the thing that God promised us? Are we going to get it tomorrow? Are we going to get it on Christmas Day? Are we getting that particular gift now? But sometimes you've got to wait. Sometimes you've got to be patient for the gift of God, for the promises of God that come to your life. Sometimes they take a lifetime. So my encouragement to you this morning is be patient. Everything is in God's timing. And when that moment comes, when you receive that amazing gift, when you receive that amazing promise that God has spoken over your life, it's all the more sweeter, because you'll be able to say, like Simeon did, God, as you have promised, in my lifetime I have seen this thing take place. Have an amazing day. Be blessed.